Yes, people, peace and love. Welcome back to the African Diaspora News channel with me, Richard Sudan. Thank you for tuning in. We appreciate you tuning in. Please like and subscribe and support the platform and support independent black media. Now, just a quick update for you today. I don't know if you saw this, especially in the US. Of course, recently the UK, for it felt never ending, was mourning the death of Prince Philip, who was a Greek immigrant who married into the German British royal family, and he passed away recently at the age of 99. Now, the first thing we saw, of course, was the complete whitewashing, really, of both the institution of the royal family, which has taken a battering of late through the Prince Harry and Meghan Markle's scandal. And we saw a complete whitewashing of the royal family's image because of that. And also we saw a complete whitewashing of the image of the royal family regarding Prince Philip. Now, the reality is, of course, first of all, the royal family are an institution which collected their wealth from the plunder and colonization of Africa and other parts of the world. And the royal family sit on top of an institution which was built from the financing of itself in this regard, but also, of course, the racist remarks and the racist views of royal family members are well documented, and Prince Philip was no exception. Prince Philip is on the record for saying a number of racist things over a long, over a long stint in the royal family. There's one image which was quite popular in the media here of a black tribe. I'm trying to think exactly where this tribe was, but there's a black tribe which literally worshipped Prince Philip as an actual god. And of course, the racist symbolism of this story being peddled in the media is deliberate. It's a deliberate attempt to kind of foment this image of whiteness and white privilege regarding the royal family. Now, one of the things we saw recently, actually, this is a story which has surfaced over the last few days. There have been reports which suggest that Prime Minister Boris Johnson may be poised to fund a royal yacht to buy, to purchase, to put forward a yacht in Prince Philip's honour, named after him. Now, this yacht is said to be £200 million. That will be the cost to the taxpayer of this yacht. Now, Downing Street has actually denied the claims so far, but actually a lot of people believe this is actually going to come to pass. Of course, no one takes Boris Johnson's word too seriously. Boris Johnson himself, the UK Prime Minister, is on the record, saying a number of racist comments over the years, and this would really be a massive slap in the face to a lot of people if indeed the taxpayer is going to foot the cost of this boat, this national flagship boat, which is going to be named after Prince Philip in his honour. And of course, this vessel will be used to carry out a number of continued royal duties. There's a theme you often hear in the media. They talk about working royals, as if the royals actually ever did a real day's work in their life, which of course they don't. The royal family serve an ideological function in Britain. They maintain the status quo. They have many people literally worshipping them. I'm not making that up. Try criticising the royal family in certain parts of Britain and see how far that gets you. Now, of course, Prince Philip himself, as well as the racist remarks, he's on the record as saying, I saw one very interesting one recently that I didn't actually know about. Apparently, Prince Philip, regarding Nazi Germany, actually once said he could see the attraction that people had in Germany to the Third Reich. So this is Prince Philip on the record expressing his admiration, if you like, almost his kind of view that he could understand why people might be sympathetic to one of the most brutal European nationalist regimes of last century. Now, to give you guys an idea of why £200 million to purchase a yacht for the Queen in Prince Philip's honour is a massive insult, because in this country we literally have a national health service which, although free, is actually almost at the point of being crippled, not least because of the pandemic. And we have millions of people around the country suffering, countless people using food banks because they can't afford the basic necessities to get by in life. And so the idea that the taxpayer should be given a bill of 200 million because it will be ordinary people that actually pay for this yacht is a massive insult. To give you guys another idea of one of the controversies we were dealing with here, at a certain point last year, I think it was towards the end of last year, the government basically wanted to ensure and scrap free school meal plans for kids that came from impoverished families. They wanted to get rid of the idea that these kids could have a free meal. And the government almost got away with it, except there was a black footballer by the name of Marcus Rashford, who's a young man, a young footballer in the United Kingdom. And he basically used his social media platform to pile a lot of public pressure on the government regarding their plans to scrap these free school meals for kids. And eventually, after massive pressure from the public, the government eventually did a U-turn and were forced to axe this plan. But this is one example which gives you an idea of the massive inequality that we see in Britain. You have mass homelessness. You have a lot of people on the sort of poverty borderline. Poverty in British terms, of course. I'm not comparing, for example, how some people are struggling here to, of course, how other people are struggling around the world, but poverty in sort of comparative British terms. And so in the midst of all this, in the midst of the sort of complete whitewashing and celebrating of Prince Philip as some kind of hero, some kind of man that kind of served the ordinary people, which is of course just false. We have this news that the government is potentially poised, they've denied it, to purchase a yacht which is going to cost £200 million in honour of a man who's on the record time and time again of making a number of racist comments. His attitudes about racism were very well known. The racist media here in the UK would often whitewash his comments as kind of, oh, isn't Prince Philip cute? Aren't these funny gaffes? Aren't these funny comments? But a lot of people find it hugely offensive. I would say, of course, there are millions of people that live under the spell of the royal family and the Queen as the head of state. But there are a lot of people, more and more, that are actually opposed to the very existence of the royal family in terms of the institution, in terms of what they represent, in terms of the ideological function that they serve. But yeah, this news really surprised a lot of people that the government could even be considering such a move. Boris Johnson has been under massive scrutiny lately, controversies regarding his own conduct, regarding yet more questions, allegations of financial irregularity and corruption regarding him. Again, he's a prime minister who's been on the record as, for example, describing black people as pickaninnies, as having watermelon smiles. Boris Johnson is also on the record as making derogatory racist comments about Muslims and loads of other groups and people. And this is the British state for a lot of people. We have a prime minister who literally backed a report recently which claimed the United Kingdom is not institutionally racist, in the face of all the evidence which shows you that it is, in terms of policing, in terms of housing, in terms of deaths in custody, in terms of education, in terms of how black people and non-white people are at the bottom of the pile in each one of these regards. And I think it's interesting as well that we also see American politicians, black American politicians, upholders of white supremacy, really denying that America is an institutionally racist country, when of course it definitely is. And of course the whole reason the UK and the US are denying they are racist countries is because more and more in recent years and in recent months and in recent weeks, they've been under the spotlight increasingly, precisely because millions of people in the UK, millions of people in the US, and millions of people around the world actually are seeing the United Kingdom and the United States, the systems and the government, for what they really are. So this news that the government, the Prime Minister Boris Johnson here, are considering purchasing a £200 million yacht for a man who was part of the royal family and the institution they were, and a man who's on the record as making so many derogatory, racist, disgraceful comments, is going to be, if it happens, again, I should emphasize, Downing Street have denied it, but if this happens, it will be yet another attempt to create some kind of pomp, some kind of fanfare, some kind of propaganda, in a desperate attempt to rejuvenate the the kind of image of the royal family, which in turn, preserving the image of the royal family is part and parcel and tandem of preserving the system, the hierarchy, the structure of power here in the United Kingdom. But it's my view actually that the royal family in the United Kingdom has taken a severe blow, taken severe hits. I think its reputation has been extremely damaged. I think it's a write-off. I don't think they can really repair it. I think it's only going to be viewed more and more as time goes on as really what it is, an outdated institution which was founded and financed from the plunder, pillage and colonization of Africa, Asia and elsewhere around the world, and also the fact that this institution really serves an ideological function. A lot of people really saw through the whitewashing of Prince Philip, etc. So yeah, just wanted to bring that story to you, to update you. Not sure if you saw that story. Let us know what you think in the comments below. For now, I want to thank you for tuning in. This is the African Diaspora News channel. Please like and subscribe and support the platform, and we will see you next time.
Hey brothers, I want to tell you about a website called blackmenszone.com. Now, Black Men's Zone is a site that specifically targets black men. It's a place where black men talk about issues that solely affect them. Now, at Black Men's Zone, the topics will range from news to society, sports, technology, business, food and recipes. Some brothers got to cook too. Gaming, and some of your brothers like doing some of that. Health and fitness, got to get your workout on. Music, movies, and many other topics. Now, there's not many forums around these days for black men, and because black men have to create them. Now, this particular website is more of a forum based, something simple, not social media. You can write what you need to write, say what you need to say, get on, get off pretty quick. But if you're interested, brothers, to at least go there, and I want you to check it out, engage in the topics, go to blackmenszone.com, sign up for an account, and get engaged in the conversation.
Thank you for watching. Make sure to subscribe to our YouTube channel and download the African Diaspora News Channel app, now available on Google Play and the Apple App Store.